How are you all? Welcome to today's session. This is Shweta Roy, your English Master Teacher at Vedantu. Today we are going to deal with the second half of the poem The Patriot. And today's session is very important. Why? Because in the first half we did about the background, we did about the poem, and we did about we covered the first three stanzas, right? Today's session, we are going to deal with the second half. We're going to complete the poem, and we are also going to talk about the important themes, the title, and the poetic devices, and some important questions, right? So do not miss this video. Stay tuned till the end. Let's begin without further ado. Before beginning, again, I would like to remind you all about online education which we are providing. So the problems that are faced by the students are doubts, notes, tests and assignments, competitive exams, choice of schedule, choice of language. So we have identified your problems. I am sure all of you face problems in one area or the other, right? So don't worry. We have come up with all the solutions in our platform. Your doubts will be solved because you are going to have personalized attention in the class. Notes you will get the handwritten notes of the teachers. Tests and assignments, yes, we do provide that as well. Weekly test, monthly test, we all do that, right? And of course, you have assignment after every class, which is going to be very, very, very helpful for all of you. Competitive exams, we have a solution for that as well. We prepare the students for various competitive exams. Schedule, you can select on your own according to your convenience because we have different time slots. So you are free to choose your own time slot according to your convenience. Choice of language, again, we have Hindi medium, we have English medium. So whatever you feel comfortable in, you can choose that as your medium of instruction, right? Apart from the problem solved, we have bonus features, unlimited live classes, micro course, crash course, performance report, personalized attention, everything you are going to get if you subscribe. What are you going to do? Just click on this link vdnt.in/ytpro and choose your grade, choose your board, check out the details, click on get subscription. You have three types of subscription: 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. Whatever you want, whichever you are convenient in, you can choose that subscription, right? And you can see the price before and after applying the coupon, right? So definitely there is a great discount. Now, what you have to do to avail that discount? Let me tell you that as well. This is for 3 months. You can see the difference in price, right? 6,999, which is going to be of 5,949. 11,499 will be for 9,774. Just visit vdnt.in/ytpro and use the coupon code SWRPRO. If you use this coupon code, you are going to get flat discount and all the amazing features there for you. ठीक है बच्चा लोग, so do not miss this great opportunity of being a part of our family and having a great learning where all your problems are solved. Along with that, you get bonus features. So hurry up, do not miss this opportunity. And now we are going to start off with The Patriot. So, Patriot by Robert Browning. So we are going to cover stanza 1 and 2 we have covered. 1, 3, 1 to 3 we have covered. Now we will see stanzas 3 to 6. And last session जो है menti session होने वाला है. So we are going to set the questions from these two videos because we have already analyzed the poem in these videos. So do not miss this videos, guys. Very important. So I'm going to read out the stanza from the poem as well. So keep the poem with you. Okay? There's nobody on the housetops now. Just a palsied few at the windows set, for the best of the sight is all allow at the shambles gate, or better yet, by the very scaffold's foot I trow. I go in the rain, and more than needs a rope cuts both my wrists behind, and I think by the feel my forehead bleeds. For they fling, whoever has a mind, stones at me for my years' misdeeds. Now I have read fourth and fifth both stanzas. Okay? And now I will be dealing with both the stanzas together. Now, in the fourth stanza, he describes the present setting. Now, what is the present setting? Very much in contrast with the previous setting where he was lauded, where he was, his path was strewn with rose petals and myrtle petals, right? Now, it is quite in sharp contrast to the previous one where he was welcomed grandly as a hero. Now, what is happening with him? Nobody on the rooftop is cheering him. Initially, what happened? You remember, right? Everybody gathered in the rooftop to cheer him, right? Only some men who are taken down by policy is now at the rooftop. Okay? People have gathered at the shambles gate, which is the gate of the gallows. Why? Because he is now being taken to be executed, to die. People want him to be, people want him to be where the action is now going to take place. You can see from the picture also, you can very well understand. So, palsy means loss of ability to move body parts. So, you can see who are the people gathering in the roof? These people, right? Who do not have the capability to move. So palsied people, right? Shambles means a building where animals are butchered. So this man, the patriot, is being taken to that place. Scaffold means a platform where criminals are executed. So he is now going to be executed because of his misdeeds that has been mentioned in the poem. Now, what is exactly his misdeeds? That is not clearly mentioned in the poem, right? Prow means think or believe. Okay? So this was the vocabulary part. Question for you. Who is watching the Patriot from the roof now? Very simple, guys. Stanza 5 says, it is raining as the speaker is walking towards the scaffold. I have already read out the fifth stanza for you. His hands are tied behind by a rope, so tight that he is bleeding. It's cutting his wrist. So how cruelly he's being handled. He's being malhandled. He is walking. He thinks he's bleeding from his forehead. He can only feel the drop of the blood. People are throwing stones at him. People don't seem to be angry. However, the speaker don't seem to be angry with these people throwing stones at him because he thinks at least the people are doing something. There are some people who are just callous, who are not even responding anything. Forget about saving him or forget about standing for him. They are not doing anything. So the speaker ironically says, at least some people who are throwing stones, they are at least doing something. So this is an ironical comment on the people who stand still, who are who act as silent spectator, not doing anything. This line is an ironical comment on this particular behavior of the people, of the crowd. So the entire poem actually is the theme of the entire poem, and we will see, is also on the whimsical nature of the crowd, right? So it's a sharp comment on the whimsical nature of the crowd. Okay? So once who these people in the crowd who once lauded him, appreciated him, respected him like a hero, considered him as a hero, could do whatever he wanted them to do for him. Now they are throwing stones at him. They are taking him to be executed, and his hands are tied. He is bleeding. Drops are falling from his forehead. Drops of blood. Why did people throw stones at the patriot? Question for you. Now I'm going to read out the last stanza, which is going to be the end of the poem. Thus I entered and thus I go. In trance, people have dropped down dead. Paid by the world, what dost thou owe? Me, God might question. Now instead, it is God shall repay. I am safer so. So, in the concluding stanza, he tries to gather some hope even in his miserable condition, in his painful condition. He says that he has played his role and now he has played his role in the earth. Earthly role is over. He's now about to ascend to heaven. He's now going towards God. He's now there to leave, right? He has to leave now. And even on the verge of his death, he is still consoling his soul that he might be rewarded in the heaven. Though his countrymen have failed to pay him the respect, he is now hoping to get the same in the company of God. And vocabulary part, playing throw stones with recklessness. Dost is an archaic word, right? And it is the second person singular form of do. Okay? Presently, it is the second person singular form of do, but it is no more used. It's an archaic word. What did the patriot hope when he is even at the verge of death? Now we will see the theme of the patriot. As I told you, fickle-mindedness of the people is one of the themes which runs down throughout. Ordinary people are never steadfast in their opinion, and that is what the poet has constantly tried to tell us throughout the poem. They are whimsical, as you could see from the contrast between the welcoming scene and the scene at the end, right? So I have already explained how they were ready to throw, they had strewn petals of roses, right? However, just after a year, what happened is all his good deeds were forgotten, and for some misdeed, which is not mentioned in the poem clearly, he is arrested and harshly treated. He is led to the scaffold, tied up, bleeding profusely, people throwing stones, hurling stones at him. And that is the ironical. That is the irony in the story. One who comes up also goes down. That is also the theme of the story. Rise and fall. Okay? Rise and fall is an important theme recurrent throughout the poem. Sorry, I'm telling story. Sorry, it's poem. Spirit of optimism is also there, which is especially at the end of the stanza, last end of the stanza. He was welcome as a hero, but then his misdeeds turned him into a criminal in the eye of the same people who had just a year before lauded him, appreciated him, could do anything for him. He feel he felt betrayed, abandoned. However, he did not lose hope, and he sought the same respect that he did not get to receive in the heaven when he goes to God. He seeks to be rewarded um, at the hands of God, right? And he feels safe in the bosom of God. His faith in God, uh, is a true judge. And that is, it's bound with, it's uh, filled with a sense of optimism. Now the title is also very important. The title is The Patriot, and the subtitle is also there, which is an old story. That is the subtitle, as I mentioned in the previous one as well. Now the poem, as you can see, the subtitle is an old story, which seems to echo a very old story. And we can find a resemblance whenever we read the poem. We can really find a resemblance with the story of Jesus Christ, who was in the same ruthless manner crucified, right? So the reader may tend to empathize with the patriot definitely when he is being taken up, or to be executed at the scaffold. We are all empathizing with him. We all feel sad and unfortunate at the condition of the soldier who was, the patriot, sorry, who was previously lauded and appreciated, and same group of people are now throwing stones at him, right? However, the patriot seems to accept his fate with a clean conscience. Most of dramatic monologues of Browning are defense provided by the speaker, okay, who are actually flawed. This is also noticeable in poems like My Last Duchess and Porphyra's Lover. So if you have read the poem, as I have read the poem My Last Duchess, I have not read Porphyra's Lover, but if you've read the poem My Last Duchess, you will see that the Duke's character is also flawed in that poem, right? But the kind of that is the beauty of his dramatic monologue. The speaker, you have one speaker, single speaker, since it is a dramatic monologue, so he speaks in such a manner that we can hear only his side of the story, so because he is only the speaker, right? So it is very difficult for us to judge the other side because we get to hear only the single side of the story. So definitely we are told about the unjust treatment that the patriot is going through. But who is the speaker? Not the poet, remember. The speaker is the patriot himself. So whatever we are seeing from the eyes of the patriot. We cannot see the other side of the story, right? So of course we have to take everything by virtue by its face value, on its face value, right? So uh, the patriot might have leaped the sun. That is all we know. We come to know that because he accepts that I was too ambitious. Leaping the sun, equivalent to being very ambitious, and due to that, he fell down. Right. So rise and fall, as I told you, it talks about the rise and fall. Next is, can the poem be taken as an interpretation of human fickleness? Definitely it is. That is seen in the welcoming scene and at the concluding scene, right? So welcoming scene, what was the situation? Uh, Lauded, then filled with streets filled with rose petals. People could do whatever he wanted, right? And people assembled in the roofs of their houses to greet him as his hero. And at the end, very sadly, it is these people who were no one assembled in the roof, only the policy people, and these people started throwing stones at the patriot, right? So his deeds were forgotten, and that is, yes, it may be also about the consolation of human find in feeling accepted and glorified. Definitely, he was consoled, right? As is suggested by the use of the dramatic monologue and the symbolism of the patriot and Jesus. Of course, we have a strong symbol of Jesus Christ, which hints at a sense of self-absorbance and the bitterness of being rejected by the society. Definitely. So initially he was so self-absorbed, seeing the people rewarding him. I mean, people greeting him, people ready to do anything for him. And at the end, he is bitter because he is rejected by the society, by the same group of people, and treated harshly, treated cruelly by the same set of people. Next, how has Browning used allusion in the poem? Story of Icarus, I have explained the story in the previous video. So if you don't know the story of Icarus, you should know the story. It's a brilliant story. It's a wonderful story taken from Greek mythological, Greek mythology. So this is very important, and that is why it is said. The saying goes as, "Do not do not be fly too close to sun." Right? Do not fly too close to the sun. Definitely, you will fall down. So there is a proverb taken from the story of Icarus. So that is the allusion the poet has used over here, and you have to explain the allusion. I have already explained in the previous video as well. So definitely I think you will be able to explain it. Is there any relevance of this poem in the present scenario? Of course there is, because it talks about the rise and fall. So the heroes of yesterday can turn into the villains of today. Definitely, one who is rising is definitely going to fall. Present scenario definitely relevant. And also contemporary political scenario of the third world countries, where mass literacy, political illiteracy, political instability, economic everything is fluctuating, right? So definitely it is relevant, and people's mindset, democracy, right? So same set of delusional nature of the people, right? Elusive nature, right? So one time they are, making someone hero, and the same and next time they can make that person suffer. That is very relevant, and this is a very powerful message as well. Explain the difference between the welcome scene and departure scene. Very important question for all of you. Now, the welcoming scene and the departure scene are mirror images of one another. So they show how the fortune of the speaker has completely turned down. Okay? Completely turned around, and there is a strong contrast between the two scenes. Welcoming scene, speaker, hero. They would give him anything he was. He is paraded along. Departure scene, he is being paraded again, but at this time, so paraded both the scenes. So that is mirror images, both the scenes, right? But this time, his hands being tied and he is going to be executed. People hurling stones on him, right? So from a hero, he becomes a villain, presumably because he did not achieve his goal, which he was set out to achieve, or he had some misdeeds, right? And we also come to know from one of the stanzas, in one of the stanzas, he said that he because of his problem, like because of him, he caused some the death of his near and dear one. So that could also be taken as his misdeed, right? So that is, it's not clearly mentioned, but these are the points. Can the poem The Patriot be considered a dramatic monologue? Definitely it is, because we have a solitary speaker, not the poet. The speaker is not the poet, which is one of the important features of dramatic monologue. He is an erstwhile leader who is receiving unearned punishment. In this critical situation, he is giving vent to his feelings and revealing the inner workings of mind. And in dramatic monologue, when the speaker, we have single speaker, monologue, right? Single speaker, that is definitely done to exhibit the or to reveal the inner working of his mind. Secondly, it has a silent audience. There is no dialogue between the speaker and the audience. This implied presence of the auditor. What is auditor? Auditor means the person who is hearing, that is we. Distinguishes the dramatic monologue from a soliloquy. What is the soliloquy? In soliloquy, the speaker speaks on the stage alone. There is no one to hear. It is not supposed to be heard by anyone. However, in a dramatic monologue, there is an implied presence of an auditor. Thirdly, it is also talking about a tragic dramatic situation, and it invokes presence of fear, pity, relief called catharsis. Relief called catharsis because we are releasing all our tension, and that is what is called catharsis. What is catharsis? It is a feeling of calm. When we release all the tension, when we see something very stressful, at the same time we are also releasing our tension, right? And that is what has been called a state of calm. According to Milton, it has been called state of calm, all passion spent. Milton in his Samson Agonistes has said about catharsis, like, which is state of calm, all passion spent, right? So definitely all these feelings are invoked in us by reading this poem, especially in the end, right? Now we will see the poetic devices. Okay? So what are the poetic devices? Imagery, various kinds of image, visual image, kinesthetic image. Kahan hai visual image? You can see over here. Here, with metal mixed in my path like mad. So we can visualize almost, right? The church spires flamed, such flags they had. So they were flaming, like the church spires looked like as if they flamed because they had flags to greet the patriot. So that is almost, we can visualize this happening in front of us. So yes, visual image. Kinesthetic image, the roof houses seem to heave and sway. So we can feel the roof houses heaving and swaying, going from one, so movement. Kinesthetic means it equates with movement. So we can see the movement of swaying and heaving of the roof houses, right? Rhyme scheme क्या है? Rhyme scheme is A B A B A, and the poem is divided into 6 stanzas. As I told you, each stanza corresponds to each chapter of the of the patriot's life. Next, auditory image. The air broke into a mist with bells. The old walls, that is the auditory image. You can almost hear the bell sound, right? Kinesthetic image again. The old walls rocked with a crowd and cries. So you can almost feel the rocking movement with the crowd and the walls caused by the crowd and the cries of the crowd, right? Next, we also have kinesthetic image, the act of leaping at the sun. So when he said that Allah, it was I who leapt at the sun. So again, you can see the movement, you can feel the movement. And also this is an allusion to the mythological allusion of Icarus. Okay? Which I have already explained in the previous one. If you have missed that, please go through the story. It is wonderfully explained in the previous video, and I have given a gist in this video as well. You can go through that also, right? Next, we have visual imagery, where there's no one on the housetops now, just a palsied few at the window set, right? Few paralyzed people sitting at the window, we can almost visualize. So that is the visual image. Again, we see I go in the rain and more than need. So here you can see my forehead bleeds. Going in when he is going in the rain with bleeding forehead, that is also visual image. Tactile image, again, feeling of blood coming from the forehead of the patriot, right? The feeling of the tight rope cutting his hands, that is also a tactile image. We can almost feel that, right? Irony, very important. What is the irony? The contrast between the past and the present, the past behavior of the crowd contrasted with the present behavior of the crowd. And also, it is God shall repay, I am safer so. It is ironic that when he is dying, he is feeling safe. So when we die, we fear dying, right? But he feels safe to die because he thinks that he will be rewarded at the hands of God and he will be safer at the hands of God because here he is being hurled stones, right? So that is the irony, and I hope now you have understood all the poetic devices and the rhyme scheme and the stanza division. Everything is clear. So again, before signing off, a gentle reminder, do not forget to subscribe. Do not miss this amazing opportunity of being a part of our Vedantu. So choose your grade, choose your board, check out the details, click on get subscription. 3 types of subscriptions we have: 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. Whichever you feel comfortable in, you can avail that. Visit the link vdnt.in/ytpro, coupon code SWRPRO. Yaad kar lo. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to hit the like button. You keep forgetting, guys. You keep forgetting. So please, those who are viewing the video, please do hit the like button. Thank you for watching and stay subscribed. So tata, bye bye.